The next topic we're going to look at is negative indices, and students sometimes confuse this with creating a negative number. So let's just investigate what's happening. You can have your calculator out next to you while we look at this and follow it through, and just prove to yourself what I'm saying is actually true. If you put 2 to the negative 1 in on your calculator, you will find that the answer as a fraction will come out like this. Notice that 1/2, 1 over 2, is not a negative number. Okay, then let's go to the next question, and if I had 2 to the negative 2, if you put that in on your calculator, you'll probably get this, 1 over 4. But I'm going to write it in a slightly different way so that you can see the pattern that's going to start to happen here. So I could write this as 1 over 2 to the power of 2. And then again, if you put in 2 to the negative 3, if you put this in on your calculator, you'll probably end up with this. But again, I'm going to write it in a slightly different way so you can see the pattern. So that would be the same as 1 over 2 to the power of 3. So can you see here that in each case, and I'll go back here to the first one and just pop a 1 here. Okay, so 2 to the power of 1 is just 2. Each case, the power in the denominator is now positive. So when we write an indice with a negative power, when we write an index notation here with a negative indice, it becomes positive in the denominator. So really this is just communicating a fraction. So anytime we get a negative index, we've got a fraction. Now fractions here in this particular case are not negative. So we've not got negative numbers, we've got fractions. Now the general rule is written this way. So if I have a to the negative m, that would equal 1 over a to the positive m, whatever that happens to be. So I could just make some stuff up now. I could have b to the negative 7, and that will be 1 over b to the positive 7. I could do it with numbers, so we could have 10 to the negative 3, well that would be 1 over 10 cubed, or I could write that numerically as 1 over 1,000. So we can use negative indices to write fractions. So the main thing you need to remember is this, that when we write our answer, it's going to be a fraction, will be 1 over, and then your index changes from being negative and it becomes positive in the denominator. So we're going to do questions now that involve negative indices and positive indices, and all of the other rules still work. So we can still use our multiplication and division rules with negative indices, that will still work. So just be careful now as you go through and do questions that if you get a negative index, change it so it becomes a positive index by putting it in the numerator.